Welcome to class. We're starting in a child's pose. This will be about an hour 15 or so of a Vinyasa flow, intermediate level. So just modify if you need to at any time and take breaks and change things up if they don't work for you. To begin in child's pose with the arms extended, take about 3 to 5 really deep full breaths. Give yourself permission to become the witness. Become the witness to the sensations in your body, the witness to your breath, the witness also to the mind and its thinking patterns. A few more inhales and exhales here just to get really centered and to set the stage, so to speak, for the practice that's coming. The expectation that you're going to stay centered, you're going to stay in this moment, you're going to stay present. Make that agreement with yourself and then press into the palms and rise up to your hands and your knees. And then rounding up into your tabletop pose, we're just going to warm the spine with some cows and cats. Inhaling to arch the spine and exhaling to round the spine. And as you move your spine up and down, just begin to synchronize it with the breath. So an inhale brings you to cow pose and an exhale brings you to cat. And each time you round your spine, really feeling the ribs and the belly sucking up and in. When you open up into cow pose, draw your shoulder blades towards each other on your back and press your collarbones forward and up. If you'd like to, on the exhales, you can start pressing your hips back to your heels. And then inhaling forward and up through your cow pose and exhaling again, moving the hips back and down towards the heels, chins tucked. Moving like this is an option to further stretch the muscles in your back body. Again, making sure that you're syncing up breath and movement. We're going to stretch out the wrists and the forearms a bit by turning the fingertips towards the knees. And once again, just moving through cow and cat this way, pressing into all 10 finger pads. Keeping the weight even in both hands. Keeping the breath deep and full. Take a couple more rounds, maybe toning through the back of the throat, creating a little bit of a sound with your breath. And flip your hands to normal position, fingertips forward. Begin to transition into your downward facing dog. So hands are shoulder width, fingers are spread, bearing the weight into the inner hand, thumb and index fingers as you pedal out your legs. And just pedaling the legs side to side, shake out your head, loosen up any tension held in your hips or your low back. Find your way to plank pose, rolling forward vertebra by vertebra until you're in a high plank. And then tuck your chin in plank and roll back into a downward dog. We'll do this a few times. So rolling forward, lengthening out through the crown of the head last. And then rolling back, downward facing dog, pressing the hips high, the thighs back, the heels down. Again, rolling forward, finding that plank pose, draw the ribs and belly in, make your legs strong. And exhale, rolling back, downward dogs. Come to those tippy toes again, roll it forward. And exhale, rolling back. Starting to feel this wave in the spine. We'll take it one last time like this. We're going to add on. So from plank, lower halfway chaturanga, and then press back up to plank. Lower halfway chaturanga, press back up, plank, lower chaturanga, press back up, plank. Stick with it, lower halfway, elbows in, and straight back up, lower halfway, and land. Come all the way down to your belly. We're going to take cobra. Reach your toes back and lift your chest up off the floor. Broaden your collarbones and hug the elbows in. Feeling that strength building in the back body. And lower back down. And lift back up. So doing a few of these little cobra poses just to feel that heat building in the back body. Maybe each time you come up, you look for a little more lift and length in the spine. Keep the tops of your feet rooting and your toes reaching. Don't carry those shoulders really high by the earlobes. Try to drop them down and move the shoulder blades down the back. If you want to, you can come all the way up into a full upward dog here and take a moment to glance over your shoulders, maybe roll the head around. Transitioning downward facing dogs, tuck the toes under and press it back. So returning to that downward dog, hands shoulder width distance, feet hip width distance, just pressing into all 10 finger pads and trying to lift your hips up and away from the wrists, lengthening through the side body. From here, walk or jump your feet towards the top of your mat. Breathe in to come up halfway, lengthen the spine. Breathe out to forward fold, drop your heavy head down. With an inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Maybe look up, watch your palms touch here. And with an exhale, bring the hands together at your heart. Plug the thumb knuckles into the heart center and breathe in and out through your chest. Like you could inhale right in through your heart chakra, drawing energy in, releasing tensions held there, and just centering in on this moment completely. If there's an intention you'd like to set, do so now. Maybe even offering this practice to someone else. And now reach the arms all the way up overhead. And with an exhale, go ahead and dive forward and down all the way over the legs, hinging at the hip creases. Drop the head down. Halfway lift, breathing in. And on your exhale, stepping or jumping back into a plank pose. Lower halfway for chaturanga. And open up your heart for an up dog or cobra. On your exhale, draw the belly in, shifting back into your downward facing dog for a couple breaths. Listening to the sound of your breathing, in and out through your nose. Looking forward, bending the knees, stepping or jumping to the top of your mat. Once again, halfway lift, breathe in. And forward fold, breathing out. Inhale to rise, take the arms wide and up overhead. And like before, bring the hands to the heart center. And flow on through, the arms circle up, breathing in. Swan dive forward, exhaling down over the legs, drop the head. Inhaling, coming to that long flat back, and then stepping or jumping back into plank. You always step with the same leg, switch it up. Cobras or up dogs following the chaturanga. And a downward dog, pull the belly in and lift the hips high. Take a few breaths here, maybe close your eyes. Focus on the sound and the feeling and the sensations of your breath, moving through your body, and empty your thoughts with this next breath out. We'll look forward and again, step or jump to the top of the mat, creating that long spine, folding into the legs right in half, and then reaching the arms all the way overhead. Big breath in, look up, stretch as tall as you can. Bring the hands to the heart. Reach the arms overhead, stretch tall, stretch back a little, and dive forward over your legs, let the head go, the neck go. Coming into a long spine, and then stepping the left foot back, drop the left knee onto the floor, so you're in lunge, and then carry the arms up overhead. So you're going up into Anjaneyasana, stretching up through the side waist. Exhale, drop the hands down and shift your hips back, coming into a half splits. Bend your front knee, breathe in, reach the arms up. And exhale, lower the hands down, straighten the right leg. So we're just moving in and out of these two shapes. Bend your front knee, reach your arms up, full breath in. And exhale, lower the hands down, straighten your front leg, folding forehead to knee. Bend the front knee, stretch the arms up, fill up with breath. Exhale, lower your hands and step into plank pose, breathing in. Lower halfway chaturanga, cobra or up dog, curl your heart wide open and press back downward dog. In your downward facing dog, left foot steps forward, the right knee drops. Same sequence, arms high, breathing in. And then on your exhale, drop the hands, straighten the left leg, pull the hips back as you fold. Rebend the front knee, sweep the arms high, fill up with breath all the way to the brim of your collarbones, and exhale, drop the hands, straighten your left leg, fold. Rebend the knee, inhale, arms high. Exhale, the hands down, left leg straight, flex the toes. Bend the knee, inhale, the arms high, full breath in. Now exhale, drop the hands, tuck the back toes, and push off your back toes to come into a flat back, standing forward bend, top of the mat, fold, and then arms go up towards the ceiling. Maybe watching your palms touch here, and then lowering the hands to the heart, and right on through. Take the arms high. Fold over the legs, drop the head down. Flatten the back, breathe in, and step right foot back. Drop the knee, sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale the hands down, step to plank. Lower chaturanga, upward dog. Press your heart through your upper arms, lift your heart. Exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha. Inhale, take the right foot forward and the arms overhead as the back knee drops. Exhale, step forward to the top of your mat. So just taking a lunging sun salutation. With an inhale breath, the arms can go up overhead, sweep them high, look up, hands to heart, exhale. Back up, inhale, breath. Dive forward, exhale, all the way down over the legs. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And stepping left foot back, drop knee, sweep the arms up, fill up, look up, lift up, exhale the hands down, stepping back to plank, chaturanga, elbows squeezing in. Cobras, upward dogs, press chest through, and a downward facing dog, press back. All right, inhale the left foot forward, the back knee down, sweep the arms high. And lower the hands back to the floor. Step off the back foot and forward to fold. And inhale, come all the way to stand. Look up, watch palms touch. Hands to heart. Reaching back up, breathing in. Folding forward, just syncing up with the energetics of this practice. A halfway lift. And on your exhale, taking that right foot back and the knee down, just moving with the breath. Arms go high, fill up. Exhale breath, the hands lower down, step to plank, and come to Chaturanga Dandasana. Press through, inner hands are heavy and pressing down as your chest moves through the upper arms. Transition back, down dog. Then your right foot forward, your left knee down, the arms sweep high. Exhale to lower the hands, launch off that back foot into a fold. Inhale to rise, palms might touch overhead, and lower the hands to the heart. Inhale the arms high, full breath, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana, which is a deep forward fold. Drop the head. Halfway lifting, breathing in, and left foot back, knee down. Reach the arms up overhead, inhaling. And exhaling, lower the hands, step back, plank pose, lower chaturanga. Upward dog, cobra, pull the shoulders back in space. Downward dogs, exhale. Left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, hands down, step off the back foot into a forward fold. Reach the arms high. Inhale, breath. Bring those hands down to the heart. Now, take your hands behind your back, catch all 10 fingers, pull the shoulder blades inward to hug the spine. Tailbone dropping down, legs are really powerfully turned on as you lift your heart. And on an exhale, forward folding down over the legs. So pull the knuckles overhead, let your head hang heavy. You might nod your head yes and shake your head no here. Try to get the palms to touch if you can. Pull your knuckles further and further towards the front of the room here. Take one more breath. And release your hands down, flatten the back. Inhale. Step your right foot back into a lunge, look forward. On the exhale breath, fold over a straightened left leg. It's like a pyramid variation here. Your legs are pretty wide apart. Your right heel might not touch the floor, and that's okay. Flex the left toes, pulling even that pinky toe towards you. We're going to move into Skandasana on the right. So walk your hands down the long edge of your yoga mat, bend your right knee, and take a seat. Your hips hovering off the floor, the left toes are pointed towards the ceiling. Take another breath here, and then you'll pivot to the top of your mat. Just walk your hands forward, coming into a lunge and then twisting open. So the left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Roll your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Feel your collarbones widening and press out through that back heel. And releasing your hands to plank and moving through a Vinyasa. We'll meet back in a downward dog. Moving to the other side, bring your right foot forward between your hands and begin to straighten out that right leg, reaching back through your left heel, maybe crawling your fingertips forward, hugging the inner thighs towards a midline. Smooth out your breath as you feel all that length coming into the backs of the legs. You should be able to hear the sound of your breath coursing through the back of the throat, filling into the belly and the chest here. And getting ready to move, take another breath. We're going to be moving into that side squat again. Bend your front knee, walk your hands over to the left leg, drop your hips down low, and plant your hands together at your heart. You can look over your right shoulder towards your right toes. Flex the toes back towards you. Feel your hips sinking down. Get ready, moving towards lunge pose. So take the hands down, walk to the top of your yoga mat. In a lunge, spiral your right arm up towards the sky, maybe gazing up at the fingertips as you pull the shoulder blades down the back, leaning open. On your out breath, plant the hands and step forward with your left foot so you end up at the top of your mat. Hook up the big toes with index and middle fingers. Lengthen the spine with an in-breath. And then fold down into your legs, exhaling, dropping the head down as you bend your elbows towards the left and right sides of the room. Let your head fall between the arms. Maybe shake your head yes and no, loosening up your neck. Shifting weight into the ball mounds of the toes and spiraling the inner thighs slightly back. You might even feel that you can widen your heels energetically on the floor. It might help you tip into a little bit of a deeper forward fold. Empty your breath. With an inhale, come halfway up, and I'm going to challenge you here. Can you hold those big toes? Pick up your heels and balance here in this little perch pose. Keep sending your chest forward, sinking into your hips, keeping those heels lifted up really high off the floor. Breathe here. 3, 2, and on 1, let the heels slowly start to travel down. hips lifting back up. Take another fold. Bend the elbows out wide. Pull your forehead in towards your shins. Drop your head down low. Breath in, out. And then come into a long spine with your fingertips on the floor. We're going to go ahead and step back into a down dog. Bend the knees. Jump or step through to sit. Lower onto your back. Sorry, it's not time for Shavasana. Take your legs up towards the ceiling. And we're going to get into a little bit of core work. So reach your arms up. We'll do cherry pickers. So one hand over the other. It's like you're picking cherries from your toes. You're going to keep your shoulder blades lifted. Try not to strain in your neck. Keep your jaw soft, your gaze soft. And just keep going. One hand over the other. Spread out those toes. Keep the feet still. Maybe you're touching the toes, maybe not quite. Just do your very, very best. Stick with it. One hand over the other, getting stronger and stronger. Building that heat in your center, in your core. Don't give up. One hand over the other. Just keep reaching. Keep going. This is a video, so obviously I'm not there watching over you and making sure that you're sticking with it, but I trust that you're still there with me. 3, 2, 1, and release. Keep your legs up, hands behind your head. Elbows are wide. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left ankle. Flex your feet so toes come back. All you're going to do is lift your hips up about 2 inches off the mat. It seems like no big deal, but just wait. Lower the hips down and lift them back up. Hold, exhale. Inhale, lower the hips. Exhale, lift, hold. Inhale, lower the hips. And exhale, lift the hips up, hold. Squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale, lower the hips. Exhale, lift, squeeze through your center, squeeze your legs, lower the hips down, and lift last time. And now we're just going to move into bicycle. Left elbow to the right knee, straighten your left leg out to the front of the room, and reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. Hold for another moment. And then just switch your upper body back and forth. So you're going to keep your right leg up towards the sky, your left leg forward, and you're just going to go side to side. Left elbow to right knee, right elbow crossing towards the left, left elbow to the right knee, right elbow crossing to the left. Keep going, keep going. And now hold in a little bit of a twist, so your torso is twisted off to the left. And then lift and lower your right leg up and down, hovering it with the left and then picking it back up. Take it one more time, and we're going to meet at the top. So lower the head down, cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Pick up the hips, hover. Lower on the inhale. Exhale, lift the hips. And lower, hips down. Exhale, lift the hips. And lower. Exhale, lift those hips up. And lower them down. And we're going to get ready for those bicycle type movements. You're going to bring the legs to uncross. And as you do that, bring the left knee in, cross your right elbow to your left knee. But this time, we're going to make like little hand clasps, index fingers release to the inside and then to the outside of that left leg. You can keep your left knee bent, or you can straighten the left leg like I'm doing in the video. But you inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, curl and reach towards the outer left thigh. Inhale, arms overhead. Curl and reach the inside of the left thigh. Keep going. Moving with your breath, keep the legs active, and keep in mind that right heel is off the floor. Your right leg is hovered off the mat. hold in the twist to the right. Lift and lower your left leg a few times. This is not easy stuff. And then bring your right leg up to meet your left. Gather the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. You deserve it. We're going to move into a happy baby. Reaching down, grab a hold of the feet. You can go for the big toes, the outer edges of the feet, and pull down. And as you pull down, try to lengthen your tailbone forward as if you could bring the natural curves of the spine in someday. And take a breath. We're going to keep the right leg as it is. Release your left foot to the floor. So it's a half happy baby. Keep your left foot on the floor, or if you'd like, take the leg out straight. Keep pulling down with that right hand on that left foot. Maybe your left palm resting on the top of your left thigh, helping to anchor that hip down towards the mat. Breathing into your belly, breathing into your chest. Releasing deeply into those hips. Inhale. And exhale. From here, start to bring your left foot in, come back to happy baby, and release your right foot, switching sides. Right foot can stay on the floor or extend all the way out. And then you'll pull down lightly against the left foot, the left hand. Close the eyes. Smooth out your breath. Clear out the static in your mind by focusing on your inhales, on your exhales. Maybe resting your right hand on your right thigh, helping to anchor that right hip down. And then return into happy baby pose. Grabbing both feet, lengthening the tailbone forward. Take the backs of your thighs now with each hand and just rock forward and back a few times, gaining momentum and eventually rocking all the way up to stand. So plant the feet and rise. Reach the arms all the way up overhead, maybe arching back slightly. And then placing the hands together at the heart. Circle the arms up as you sit low for chair pose. Utkatasana. Stretch out through your fingertips, little tuck in the pelvis, lengthening through the tailbone, squeezing those thighs inwards. Pulling the low belly inward and upward as you knit the front ribs together. On your next exhale breath, lean forward and take the arms back behind you into a sort of leaning chair pose. Inhaling back to a chair with an in-breath, exhaling to that leaning chair on the out-breath. Again, reach the arms up, chair pose, leaning forward, arms sweep back, exhaling. Reach the arms up, chair, stay low, and exhale the arms back, breathing out. Inhaling the arms forward, stay low though, reaching your hips back, the palms turning in. Hug the inner thighs together, weight is into those heels. Nice, and then chair pose, stay low, reach up, and then stand, hands to the heart. From here, reach the arms up, sit your hips low, chair, breathe in, exhale, forward fold, breathing out, tip over the legs. Halfway lift, inhale, breath, go to a plank pose, you can step it or jump it back, elbows tucked in, rolling up into that cobra or upward dog, unshrugging the shoulders, meeting in downward facing dog, right leg lifts high, bend the right knee, start to open up the hip. You can point the toes or flex the foot, do something with that right foot. Press out through both hands and try to square your chest. Let your right armpit roll down just a little bit. From here, bring your right knee underneath towards the left elbow. Kick the right leg straight. And then you're going to open up into a fallen triangle. So split the legs apart. Flex through that right foot, rolling to the pinky toe side of that right foot and reaching your top arm overhead. Ground through that bottom hand. Begin to bring your left palm to the floor. Take your right leg behind you for a wild thing. So moving through into the back bend, opening up the heart. And then right palm down, put your right knee again through and underneath, fallen triangle. Rolling open, reach through the top arm, split the legs. Lower the left hand, again a wild thing. Tap the right toes behind you, open up your heart, lean back. Right palm down, right knee underneath. Send it through for another fallen triangle, reaching your top arm overhead, root through the right palm, and then slide that right leg behind you, wild thing, opening up the heart. Right palm down, right knee underneath to the left elbow. Fallen triangle again, reach through the top arm, split the legs. And then if it's available, can you pick that right leg off the floor and hover it for 3, 2, and 1. Set your right foot forward at the top of your mat for warrior 1, back heel pivoting down. Square the hips forward, reach your arms overhead, stretching out through each fingertip. Anchoring through both legs, squaring through the hips. Inhale here, and exhale, lean forward, take your arms back. Reach the arms back up, warrior 1, stretch out through the fingertips. Exhale, lean forward, take the arms back. Moving with your breath, the arms coming up overhead. And then the arms reaching back, stretch out through your fingertips. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms back. Inhale the arms all the way back up towards the ceiling. Breathing here in. Lunging a little deeper, breathing out. And hands to the heart, warrior 2 pose. Open the arms out wide, gaze over the right fingertips. Check that the knee is over the ankle. Let your right sitting bone drop down just a little bit more. Squeeze through the back thigh. Feel your chest, your heart elevating as the shoulder blades slide down the back. You might even choose to close your eyes here and see if you can just tune in. Feel your breath. Feel the weight of your body pressing down into the yoga mat, lifting up through the crown of your head. We're moving into a side angle pose. So your right elbow will come to the knee, or if you'd like, go deeper, drop the hand down to the floor and start to stretch your top arm forward. Make sure that palm turns downward. Maybe you gaze up underneath the left arm and focus on your breath. Now inhale, come all the way to a reverse warrior. So you're sliding your left hand down your left leg, reach through the top arm, gazing up, and then moving into side angle pose again. So you can put the elbow on the knee or the hand to the floor, reach the top arm forward. We're going to move with the breath. So you're going to inhale, reverse your warrior, reach your right arm back, exhale, transition forward into side angle. Back leg stays strong. Breathe in and come up, reverse your warrior, stretch back. Breathe out, dropping the hand and sweeping the top arm past the crown of your head. This time, wrap your left arm around your low back. Maybe you stay in the half bind variation, or maybe you decide you're going to go further and wrap your right arm underneath your right leg. Pull your right hip crease back and underneath you. And if you're feeling like moving on, you can look down towards the floor and step your back foot forward. As you get there, lean your weight into your left foot. Perhaps you carry this right leg up with you into a bird of paradise. Stay here, try to balance. It's okay if you teeter-totter a little bit here. I lose my balance right about now. To set back up and re-enter the pose, you can do that over and over and over again. Just find your best expression now. Take another breath. And then try try to gracefully bring your right foot back to the floor. I'm going to challenge you, if you're here with me, maybe lift the left leg back into a hover. So it's like a bound half moon, and if you fall out, just fall back out into a warrior two. So your left foot lands at the back of the mat, arms go wide, and from that warrior two, wrap your arms up left underneath the right, eagle the arms. Front knee over the ankle, back leg strong, and your elbows in line with the collarbones. Fingertips are lifting and the thumbs moving away from the forehead. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Keep sinking into those hips. Exhale here. Release your arms wide. Straighten your right leg and pivot your right toes in. Joining the hands now behind your back. Open up your chest. Roll the shoulders down the back. And then folding for Prasarita Padottanasana, you can adjust the stance between your feet, the distance there. Crown of the head dropping down, the shoulder blades squeezing in. Lean some weight into the toes. See if you can take the inner thighs back. And if your low back is bothering you, then keep a little bend to your knees. Smooth your breath. Calm your mind. Focusing on the space between thoughts. If you need to exhale and just let out a big ha breath here, now's a good time. Release some tension, some heat. Breathe into the space that you're opening in the backs of the legs.
Show me how you feel inside.
You can release your hands, come up to a flat back. Hands to the hips and rise. Come up to stand. Reach your arms out wide. Turn your right toes out. Set up for triangle pose. Reach the arm out as long as you can get it. Drop your right hand down. Reach your left arm up and gaze up towards the fingertips. Lengthen both sides of your waist. So actively pull your right armpit away from your right hip point. Spiral your chest up and open. Reach through that top arm. Start to sense the inner right thigh peeling forward. Take your top arm and wrap and bind. So you're going to loop it around your low back. Maybe you find that inner right hip crease. Keep turning your chest open. You can use that bind to encourage the left arm back in space. Turning the chest just a little further upwards towards the ceiling. Release your left arm now. And stretch that top arm forward. Get a little more length along your left side body. If you'd like to move on from here, can your bottom arm also reach up? Like you're holding a big ball over the crown of your head. Transitioning into a half moon. Right hand forward, bending the right knee. Lift your back leg up, flex the foot. If you'd like to move on into the Chapasana variation, left knee bends, take your left hand back, catch the foot. Challenge you to bring your inner left thigh down parallel to the floor though, so you're not letting the knee fly up to the ceiling, rather you're kicking straight back, opening up through the heart. Connect to your breath. Smooth, long inhales. Long breaths out. Stay calm, stay focused. One more breath here. And then gently releasing your left foot. Take both hands to the floor and allow your left leg to slowly travel down to meet your right. You're at the top of your mat. Pedal the legs out a little bit, and then we're going to come all the way to stand. Reach your arms up and bring your hands to your heart. Left knee towards the chest. We're going to go into a little number 4 pose. Big stretch for the left hip. So as you sink your hips back and down, press the outer left ankle into the top of the right knee. Can you bring your hands behind your back? Catch all 10 fingers. Keep your chest nice and open. Start to lean forward. hovering your torso over your left shin and ankle. Maybe the knuckles floating away from the low back. Keep the balance in that right heel. Breathe smoothly. Just go to your edge. Honor that space. And from here, take your hands, release the clasp all the way down to the floor. If you'd like to play around with a little flying pigeon, shift your weight so that your left shin rests on the back of your arms. Maybe you pick up the right toes. Some of you might extend the leg all the way out. And then from that shape, you can bring your hands back down to the floor. Step your left ankle back. So release it, step it back, and then your right foot back. You're in downward dog. Plank pose, top of a push-up to chaturanga. Flow through your back bend, up dogs or cobras, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Hips high, thighs back. And we're going to take just a couple breaths here. We're going to move all of that to the other side now. Left leg lifts up. Bend the knee, open up the hips. Press through the heel or point the toes. Left knee underneath to the right elbow. Kick the leg to the right. Fall in triangle. Roll open and reach through the top arm. Bringing your right palm back to the floor. Left knee tucks in and goes over and around the right leg. Fall in triangle to wild thing. Open up your heart, pushing into that right palm. Bring your left hand down. Sweep your left knee underneath you. Kick it out. Fall in triangle variation. Spiral through your heart. Exhale the right palm down. Pull the left knee in and take it around the back of the right. Set the toes down and take your wild thing. Open up the heart. Again, bring your left hand down. Bring the left knee to the right elbow. Kick it out. Back heel pivots down as you reach through the top arm. Twist your heart open. Exhale the right palm down. Pull the knee in. Tap those toes to the floor behind the right leg. Wild thing. Bring the left hand down. Bring the left knee to the right elbow. Kick it out. And this time, as the right arm soars, maybe you pick up your left leg. As the left leg hovers, reach the top arm maybe overhead. Feel free to be creative. Maybe wrapping the left leg over the right leg. Anything that suits you. Left knee to chest, step forward. Big movement forward, warrior one. Arms come up overhead. Stretch out through those fingertips and take a couple calming breaths here. Let this warrior one be a place where you recover. Come back into your breaths. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, lean forward. Take your arms back, bowing over the front thigh. Breathing in, rising back up, warrior one pose. Breathing out, lean forward, stretch your arms back. Inhale up and exhale back. Inhale up and exhale back. Inhale up and stay here, breathing out. Finding that lift through the side waist, squaring off the hips, engaging through the core. Hands to the heart. Turn and open to a warrior two pose, facing the right side of the room. Reach your arms out wide, gazing over the left fingertips. And then moving into that reverse warrior, stretch the left arm up and back. Side angle pose, elbow to knee or hand to the floor. Top arm reaching forward, palm turns downward. Lengthen the right side waist. Now get ready to move with it. So going up into your reverse warrior, stretch the left arm back. And then exhale, lean forward and take it into that side angle pose. Using your inhale, push into the left foot, reach back. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, lean forward, side angle pose, reach through the fingertips. Inhale, reaching back, stretching out long. And exhale last time. Come forward and reach through the top arm. We'll circle the right arm around the low back, take the half bind, or maybe you go for that full bind here, wrapping your left arm beneath the left leg and joining the fingertips. If it's possible, turn the gaze upwards, pull the left hip back and in, underneath you. If you're moving on from here, gazing down to the floor, stepping your right foot forward to meet the left, and then maybe rising up as you lean into the right foot, bringing your left leg with you into Bird of Paradise. You can keep the leg bent or start to straighten the leg all the way out. Smooth breaths, calm focus. Stick with it. Bending the left knee. Set the left foot back down to the floor, and if you'd like to play around with that little bound half moon, slide your right leg back to hover while keeping the bind, and when you fall out, just fall out into a warrior two. Right foot lands at the back of the mat, arms go wide. We're going to take the arms into eagle again. Bring your right arm beneath your left arm, squeeze the elbows, lift the elbows. Stay deep into that front knee. Don't lose the bend in the front knee. Smooth out your breath.
And how I sing you like a song.
Stick with it.
When I was young, I'm buried for a night like this.
Last exhale here. Bring those arms all the way out wide. From here, straighten your legs, turn your toes in. From here, we'll bring the hands to the hips, a little bit different. Squeeze your elbows back and lift your chest up, folding into Prasarita Padottanasana. Once you're in that fold, reaching down through the crown of the head, feel the weight come a little bit forward into the ball mounds of the toes. Keeping your hands on your hips, squeezing your elbows back, pressing out through the legs and smoothing out the breath. Let your breath be higher than your thinking mind. And from here, let your hands come down to the floor. Walk your palms back, and if it's in your practice, lean into your hands and your head and start to float your legs up into a tripod headstand. If you're not going into that headstand, you're staying in the forward bend, just enjoying that stretch. If you're upside down, hug your legs towards midline, spiral your inner thighs towards each other. Elbows stay dialing in over the wrists, shoulders away from the ears. Take one more really deep breath here. Full inhale. And releasing the legs out and slowly back down to the floor. Once your feet arrive on the mat, you can walk your hands forward, come to a long spine, a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips and with control, rise all the way up to stand. The arms will go out wide, the left toes turning forward. Preparing for a triangle pose, Uttita Trikonasana. Lean out over that left leg. Hand drops down to shin blocker floor. Right arm up towards the sky, turning the gaze up towards the right fingertips if that's all right on your neck. Take a few long, deep breaths here. Circle the right hand down and forward, maybe binding to the low back if that feels good. Wrapping your right shoulder back in space. Using this bind to tilt back your right collarbone just a little further. Taking your head maybe just a little bit back. Smooth breaths. And then releasing your right arm up towards the ceiling. Stretch the top arm forward, turn the palm down. And if you'd like to take it up one little notch, bring your bottom arm forward to meet the top arm, like you're holding a giant balloon overhead. And then we'll tilt forward into that half moon. Left hand onto the floor, the right leg lifts up. If you're going into the bind, right knee bends, reach back and catch the foot. As you kick back into your hand, try to bring your right inner thigh a little bit lower so it's parallel to the floor. Open up your heart. And then slowly releasing both hands down to the mat. You can bring your right foot to meet your left foot. And then crossing your right ankle over your left thigh. If you need to come up to stand to get there first, that's okay. Hands can come to the heart or wrap around the low back. So again, the number 4 with the lean. Maybe the hands are bound and you're lifting knuckles towards the sky as you fold. Keep reaching your sitting bones back like you're stretching your sits bones to the back wall. Go just a little bit further. Hands can come to the mat if you'd like to take the flying pigeon, wrapping the right toes around your left shoulder, shifting your weight forward, maybe taking that balance. If you're balancing, your left foot can just lift off the floor. Maybe you send the left leg straight back. I'm skipping it in this round. When you're ready, just circle your right leg back and then your left into a down dog. Coming forward into your plank pose, high push-up to low push-up, chaturanga to up dog. Meet back in a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a few breaths here, pedal out the legs. And when you're ready, step or jump through to sit, roll onto your back body. Just rest here for a minute. We're going to prepare for some back bending, so you'll be moving into some bridges, maybe even up into a full wheel pose. I like to bend the elbows like robot arms, so check with the video. Palms facing in, fingertips towards the ceiling. From there, push into the backs of the arms and begin to lift your hips up off the floor. Maybe you snuggle your shoulder blades under your back a little further, join the hands into a 10-finger grip, a little fist package. And press your arms down into the mat underneath you. Rolling your chest towards your chin and pressing your hips up towards the ceiling. Now you're welcome to stay right here. If you'd like to move on, set your hands up on either side of your head. Push straight down to rise up. Wrap the forearms in. Press the hands down. Keep the knees in line with the hips so the toes don't feel like they're turning out and widening. Hug towards a midline as you roll your chest open. Just let your head hang. You can even nod your head yes or shake your head no. Maybe you look down at the floor between your thumbs. Smooth breaths here. Always welcome to play a little bit, maybe coming up onto your tippy toes. And then we'll slowly make our way back down. So walk your feet out if you took them in. Bend the elbows, come to the back of your head. Take your feet wide, just let your knees knock in. One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Notice the path of your breath through your body. Feeling the effects of this back bend on your system. Set up for either a bridge or a wheel, so up to you. As your feet come back in towards middle, think of someone you'd like to dedicate this back bend to. Go into your bridge or your wheel pose once more. If you're in wheel and you'd like to move a little further, you can bring your head to the mat, one hand at a time. Wrap your hands behind your skull. Interlace the hands, push the elbows down, and press your chest through. You may choose to walk your feet in a little bit further, opening up your heart a little bit more. Wherever you are, enjoy this place. Breathe. Focus on what you're feeling, the quality of the breath. If you have lowered your head and your forearms, you'll want to place one hand at a time back down to the mat. As your palms plant, press back up to wheel, breathe in, and then tuck the chin, bend the elbows, and come to your back. Breathe out. Once again, feet wide, knees knocking in. Feel the effects of this back bend on your body. Begin to bend your knees in and take your legs up towards the ceiling. Flex the feet, rolling the heels up towards the sky. Plant the palms on either side of your hips, pressing down, moving into plow pose. If you don't want to move into plow, you can just stay there with the legs to the ceiling. But if you're going to plow, tilt those toes over the crown of your head, hips over the shoulders, plant your hands at your mid-back. Pressing through the heels, roll the inner thighs up, stay here, or begin to travel one leg and maybe the second leg up towards the ceiling into your full shoulder stand. Avoid turning the head side to side here, it's too much weight on the neck. So as you come up, keep your chin tucked, move your hips towards the back wall, your heels towards the front wall. Welcome to play around. You can do like an eagle with the legs, maybe trying for a full lotus with the legs. Do whatever feels interesting to your body and also safe to your body. Don't force anything. And as you're ready, you can start to take those legs back up towards the ceiling. Bring the toes overhead towards the floor into plow pose. And then very slowly roll down onto your back. Take your time. You'll pause with your legs towards the sky. Just take a breath here into your back body, hugging the legs towards a midline. And then bending the knees, setting the feet down onto the floor. Slide the legs all the way out. Reach the arms up overhead, take a big breath in. And with an exhale, come all the way up to sit. We'll bring the feet together into Baddha Konasana from here and start to lean forward over the ankles and feet. Dropping the head towards the toes, pressing the knees towards the floor, breathing into the inner and outer hips here. Enjoy this stretch. Close your eyes, relax tension from your neck, shoulders, and jaw. Be in this moment, flowing with your inhales, your exhales. Making your breath slightly audible. Just a few more breaths here. Really enjoying this stretch, this pause. And then slowly begin to make your way up. Taking your legs out straight and coming into a deep forward fold. Paschimottanasana, bowing in over the legs. This, unfortunately, is where our video stops. However, I'll be guiding you just with my voice through the remainder of this class. Stick with it. It's worth it. Take another breath or two in your forward fold, letting your head nestle down into your shins or knees. And then very slowly rolling up. As you arrive in a seated pose, we're going to return onto our back for some supine twists. And then we'll be settling into Shavasana. So lie down. Bring your knees in and wrap your right leg around your left leg. So it's like eagle. You might even wrap the right ankle under the calf. And then you're going to drop your knees to the left. You might want to bump your hips right a tad, and then knees drop down to the left, looking over your right shoulder. Breathe here. Try to bring both of your shoulder blades onto the floor. You can cactus the arms if you'd like. And then bringing your head back to neutral. Bring your legs back to center. Wrap your legs the other way, left over right. Maybe bump your hips left a little bit. Knees will travel down to the right now. Cactus the left arm. Drop the left shoulder blade and left temple down. Take a few breaths. And then bring your head and your legs back to center. Give yourself a final squeeze. Bring the forehead to the knees. Curl into a tight little ball. And then unravel and relax onto your back. Take your legs out. Take your arms out. Completely reclined onto the floor. Letting go of any tension in the body. So scan down the body and check in to make sure that there's nothing that's feeling like it's gripping or tight or uncomfortable. Savasana is often called the most important pose in yoga of all practices, in every form, from Iyengar, Kundalini, Hatha, Vinyasa, wherever you go. This is the most important pose. It changes us. It allows all the little changes we made during our practice, our physical practice, to sink in. Your work here is to not work. Your task here is to surrender. So let yourself rest. Let yourself be absorbed into each and every moment, completely releasing. And then stay here until you are guided out by the sound of my voice. And start to notice your next breath. Wiggle your fingertips and your toes and just very gently start to wake yourself. I'm going to leave you here to just come out of Shavasana at your own pace. I hope that you feel restored and rejuvenated following that practice. Thank you for practicing with me, and namaste.